My trigonometry course. My name is Andreas or Andy V, and I'm a professor for mathematics, astronomy, and physics at the University of Alaska Anchorage, respectively Kenai Peninsula College. This is an introductory video, and I try to keep it as short as I can. So we'll see. Of the top ones here that you see, I will only use content, announcements, very few discussion, very little discussion. Great book, and please avoid messages because I will go by email, as you may have already noticed. So that would be the alaska.edu email. Yeah, let's start with announcements. And I tend to post quite a few announcements. Some of them are, as you notice here, astronomy related, just because I want. Sometimes you will find things like President's Day or something. Here are a couple of announcements that I want you to start out with. So most important information is posted in Start Here. Let's look at this here for a moment. So go to Start Here and look thoroughly at the first two items. Most important information, syllabus, course right, and then you have to send that course right to me in order to get access to the whole course. I will show you that very soon here. Another email that I want to point out here is Trigonometry textbook. This is the Trigonometry textbook. It's by the same author. You have a choice of any one of these 4 editions. So between the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th edition. And that should make it, I would think, relatively inexpensive. Okay. So that's the announcements for now. I'm going to go over here to content. And what you see here, this is where you start here. Notice there's something missing here, chapters 1 and 2. We'll get to it in a minute. So click on Start Here. Go to Syllabus and Course Right, and here they are. And when you open these here, they will open inside the class. And you can also download them. So here's the syllabus. One thing I want to point out, there's the textbooks again. One thing I want to point out about the syllabus is that toward the end you see all the due dates here. This is the only place that I post due dates. So make sure to pay attention to them on the syllabus. As mentioned before, the other thing you ought to look at is the course right document. It's basically a syllabus test. So you have to be familiar with the syllabus and Blackboard, and then email this one to me and I will get you access to the entire course. Okay, let's get on here to the next one. So here's another folder here. If I'm able to click on it, there we go. And so instructor contact information and so on. So there is me. Somewhere in here it says that I'm from Berlin, Germany. And yes, this is my nickname, Andy here, Andy V. You may call me Professor V or Andy. Actually, I would prefer Professor V. There we go. Zoom office hours and so on. I'm not going to go through this here in detail. As I said, this is supposed to be an introductory video. I'm just going to go, oh, actually, I will go back here for just a moment. So chapter exams are not proctored. I will post the password though, so they may have a password attached to them and I will post that to you. The final exam will be proctored. In fact, it will be proctored by me through Zoom. All right, so the last item here that we see here is this one here, course right content. So is not released until, and then we're missing this one here. So I'm going to go back. I believe if I go back here, we can see it. Course content for chapters 1 and 2 is not released until students have completed the course right document posted in Start Here. So that's why the first one we can see here is chapter 3, radian measure. So I'm going to click on this here to show you what you would have to expect throughout the course. I'm going to click on this little folder here as well. So assignments and objectives, lecture and problem script, and then the assignments. And notice that the assignments are pretty much the same every single chapter. So pre-chapter quiz, homework, practice test, chapter exam. Just going to click on this one here, and so here assignments and objectives. So here these are posted on YouTube, my lectures, and the script is actually posted right here. And then, as I said, these are the assignments, pre-chapter quiz. We're just going to start this here to give you an idea how they look like. So multiple choice questions. There's some short answer. I do like matching questions, actually. So pretty much that's what you would have to expect for the assignments. This one here, by the way, most of these assignments, you will see that you can start them and then stop and then don't submit, but come back to them a day later or 3 days later, and then continue, and then might even stop again. And so that works for most of these assignments, except for the chapter exam. That's actually the one that you would have to do in one sitting. And as I said, it's still not proctored. It may have a password. Notice that's actually in the parentheses over here, particular password for this chapter exam. All right, and then we're going to cover a total of 8 chapters from the book. Actually, you might see, as I said, these are always the same here. The same 4 assignments for every chapter. But the exception would be actually the last 2, chapters 7 and 8, where actually only have a quiz and a homework. And as I said, at the end you have final exam. All right, you might have seen that right here. There's also projects, but as I said, this is an intro video, so I'm not going to explain that right now. The same thing with the discussion or discussion board here. I guess introduce yourself and read through this here yourself. Again, just an intro video. So last thing I'm going to do is click on Gradebook. So that's where you can see that. Apparently I started at the quiz, so draft saved. Didn't do much there, but draft saved. And the others are on unopened here. Then it doesn't say anything under due dates. Well, remember, the only place that I give you due dates is actually on the syllabus. So pay attention there. All right, and that was my intro video. Again, welcome to Trigonometry.